Hey guys, it's Sunday. I just been looking through the news today and wanted to shoot a video on the stuff. Starting to get pretty controversial between the right wing protesters and the left wing protesters. I have to say the left wing is showing the aggression. It's getting bad. I mean, I don't know what you guys are seeing, but I'm seeing a lot of people getting beat up because of their skin color. And it's not because they're black. Listen, I just don't see. They televise all these riots. And I've watched them all. I am not seeing the number of a group of Caucasians kicking the crap out of someone because they're black. But I'm seeing a lot of it done I don't want violence from either side. I don't think it's acceptable or right from either side. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but there are people getting hurt. And it makes you think, at what point do you start considering maybe protecting ourselves? Us on the conservative more side, we do not speak up like we should. We do not stand up like we should. We allow things to go way too far before we actually take action. I don't know. It's getting bad. I mean, there's some really wretched stuff being happened. I watched an 80-year-old man, and this was by a cop, just get pushed and knocked out on the sidewalk. I watched an Oriental man trying to just protect his store get kicked to death. He died. I saw a black police officer get beat to death because he was trying to stop looters. Now, what does that have to say about Black Lives Matter? I mean, I know the protesters are there for that. But these rioters and these looters are not. You get in their way, you're black, brown, orange, or blue, they're going to fuck you up. Because they want to continue stealing. And there's people out there justifying that. Mostly, I'm sorry, on the left side, the left leadership is actually condoning this, saying it's maybe the system needs to be brought down to bring on change. But these people are not the system. These are single citizens who work their ass off mostly to start these businesses that just got absolutely ruined. That's not the establishment. I've talked about this before. If you want to go after the establishment, if you want to go shoot Massa, let's go shoot the real master. Because, again, we are all slaves here. There's no free men here. We are fighting right now, trying for the first time to take our freedom. All of us. The blacks are not the only ones that are being oppressed. Every woman, child, man on this planet is being oppressed. That's why you need to look at a bigger picture. You can go beat up every KKK member you know that ever existed or does existed, and nothing is going to change. You can go beat up every dirty cop that you catch. You could beat him to death. Ain't nothing gonna change. You can loot every store. You can steal everything we have. We can give all the reparations we need to get. We can give, and nothing is going to change. The only thing that's going to change is if we quit looking at each other as the enemy, discover that we are brothers and sisters, put our arm around each other and look away from each other and look at the real enemy. Government. The ones that run the government, the ones that control the government, the ones that control the media, the ones that control all the money, and the ones that have absolute control over every one of us, and have for thousands of years. This is ancient. This is big. This is a lot bigger than some racist whites and some dirty cops. We're trying to get to the pot of gold. And you're over here looking in the grass for a nugget, for one coin. Your attention is being stolen from you to look at these microcosm events so that you do not have the mental fortitude to internalize that and still look at the bigger picture. It engulfs you. These things are being done maliciously and not by racist white people. It's done by racists, yes, but it's done by people who are black, people who are white, people who are Chinese, and people who are Mexican, all at the top. Because those people up at the top, they don't look at each other as, well, you're black and you're white and you're Mexican and you're Oriental. They don't even look at each other that way. They just say they think of each other as equals because they were able to rise up to that level and to beat each other's peers. There's no racists at the top. There's no racist really anywhere. It exists, but it's not the prominent problem being perpetuated by the mainstream media. The problem is hate, classism. They hate us because we're poor. They think that we are beneath them. Some of these people are not even human. We got to quit looking at each other, and we got to come together. The only way that we'll get real change is that if we all put our power into a goal. As long as they have a split 50-50 on issues, nothing's going to change. Ever. And we don't even have to agree on everything. Just sign a treaty, if you will, in agreement to kill the bigger enemy. Okay? It's like two countries have a conflict going on, and they're fighting each other, and then they figure out the whole conflict has been fanned by another country because they want these two factions to fight each other so that he can dominate them. The other country can dominate them. Let's use U.S. conflict with Iran. But who's behind that? China. China wants us fighting. Because if America's fighting Iran, we can't fully concentrate on China. Well, if the whites and blacks are fighting, we can't, either one of us, fully concentrate on the dirty ass government or shadow government the ones that aren't elected, the ones that are fuck the congressman, fuck Trump, fuck the presidency. None of them, that's beginners. We're talking about bankers here, people. We're talking about the bankers who have been running this world for thousands of years, or their bloodlines. The names change, the faces change, but for thousands of years, I believe personally, since Cain and Abel, I believe that these people are the descendants of Cain. Okay? If you believe in God and devil at all, well, Cain is the descendant of the fallen angels. Satan's fallen angels. His closest of kin was Cain. And these people that run this world take pride because they believe or can trace their bloodline back to Cain. They're Satanists. They look at us as food, or as entertainment, or as commodities, or as slaves. We are not their equals. There's your racism. I don't think anybody in this world is any lower than me because of how they look. Nothing about, and there's no characteristic in an appearance of a person or woman or that I would take as that means this, or make an assumption. I actually wait to talk to you. And I will then process my opinion of you after interacting with you. Because I don't even think I learned it. I think I've always been this way. You don't judge a book by its cover. A man can look ratty as hell and come up and probably teach you some shit you never known. It's not color. And guys, it's not color. I'm going to keep beating on this point. Let's quit looking at each other. Okay? So I'm going to let it go. Till next time, see you later.